Yes.
All right, let me know when we're live so I don't talk shit about anybody.
Well, the audio is live now, so there you go.
You don't want to be like Charles?
Fuck them. Hey, I missed that. Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. Hey, everybody. This is the final wrap-up review of DragonCon Goes Virtual for the digital media track. I'm Charles McFall, the director and the torture victim, I think, of watching all 12 hours of every day. And thank you, Steph, because if you didn't come on and alleviate the sausage fest that I just sat through for an hour and a half,
I heard it was a sausage fest, and I was like, we need a woman in here.
We did. I was like, Emily or Steph or both, because I needed something, a palate cleanser. I need high spiritual energy after.
You're making it weird. Hey, who's Groove is for life? They want to jump in.
They will. I'm not doing 6 at a time. So let's see what Michael has to say, and then we'll kick his ass out. And Anthony too. We'll kick them both out. So,
you don't have to wait for Anthony to say anything. We can just kick him out now.
But no, I want the feedback on how everything went for everybody, what they thought of it. So we'll start with. I'm gonna keep Tony. I'm gonna keep Stephanie. Everybody else, who knows? We'll see what happens. So you
next
guys
time wear a poo suit.
But Michael, you've been in and out of the chat all weekend long and in Discord. How was the con for you virtually? Good story, bro.
Okay. Wait, there's 2 Michaels in this chat.
Michael Picard Kufalberger.
Okay. So I know this wasn't a true DragonCon because we didn't get to see each other in full decked out, but it was still a good experience. The first time I ever heard DragonCon, I was back when I was in Guam. That was probably about 2000. What year is that? 2016, I think it was. A friend came back. A guy I worked with came back to Atlanta just to go to DragonCon. Okay. Then I joined the Adventure Incorporated Discord, and they started talking about it more and all that stuff.
Oh well, that was your first mistake. You know.
I know my second mistake was paying them. But it's a great community. It was great panels. One of the panels I liked was actually I can't remember what the name of it, but it was about the streaming probably way of it was local content creators one.
Because meeting up and doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. That, and also I mentioned in that one specifically was I don't know if people would be interested in watching me be a mechanic, all that stuff.
You're that guy. Okay, now I know who you are.
Yeah, we talked about you on the first day of the wrap up of how interesting that would be.
Right, that guy's dumb as shit because he could get 45 million views right now, but he won't do it.
But it's not that I'm dumb, it's also that it'll be straight on my cell phone, which that's no big deal. But it's also the mic and people will be hearing cussing, but that's fine. I'm already rated at 18 plus. I'm already matured. That's fine. Yeah, but it's also the fact I gotta find which headphones will work with my cell phone to do that, so it not to take away, but so you guys can still hear me and all that.
You're in the Discord, right?
Hey, Beanlet. I'm sorry, Charles.
Go ahead.
I was asking if you're in the Discord. God damn it! First, are you in the Discord, Michael?
Yes, I am.
All right, Tony, ask you.
Discord, I am Shadow Orc.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, man. You had mentioned you heard about DragonCon. Had you been in person, or was this your first one?
This is my first one.
Gotcha. So I was gonna ask how you felt, but I'm glad you could at least join us for this one, for this first one. And we're gonna count it. Us regulars, we're counting it. It was a DragonCon with an asterisk. But hopefully, man,
don't put that asterisk on there. You're just trying to take away the legitimacy of the number of panels I got to be on.
No, Mike, he might be. If he puts an asterisk, he might take away the legitimacy of the loss for Blood Feud. So
put an asterisk. An asterisk is there.
I gotta say,
I didn't lose.
For me, this was not a fake DragonCon. I'm exhausted. I can't keep the day straight anymore, and my soul has been violated by botched. So I think this is a real DragonCon.
Plus one.
Well, that's why I said not a typical DragonCon.
Yeah.
Because typical we would actually be in, and then there'd be more shenanigans, and you wouldn't be going to sleep at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It'd be more close to probably 7, 7, 8 o'clock.
Oh,
back up.
Oh, Bean, I have a feeling, man, when you make it out in person, you're gonna be the one we have to tell, hey man, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
Everybody their first year has gotten that daddy spiel. Like, hey, just so you know, it's only Wednesday. This doesn't even really start till Friday. So it's a marathon, buddy. Hang in there.
Yeah.
But I look forward to it.
Tony,
Same
I think
here.
you gave me a different daddy speech.
So, but Michael, you
was I wearing the bear suit?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember.
Michael, are you inspired to actually get motivated to maybe look into doing some kind of streaming or creating?
Well, I am a streamer on Twitch. I mostly do stream video games.
Okay.
Under Twitch, I am known as Stealth King 500.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, Stealth King.
So a lot of people ask me why I have so many names. Well, I started with the PS3 when they first started the names on there. I was Stealth King 5. Then whenever I joined Twitch, I went to Stealth King 500 to try and keep it the same that way. And then
He's like 100 times better.
Yes. But then when I joined Discord, that was probably like 2 years ago. I wasn't even thinking of streaming on that portion. It was mostly to join for friends so we could do a D&D game. And then Shadow War came about that way.
And I am so sorry, Stealth King. You mentioned Stealth King. I was thinking Bean. It's late.
No, it's
I'm mixing everyone up. And then meanwhile, and Michael's been cool about it. He could have said, come on, idiot. But Bean's like, why are you talking to me? I'm not even in there. And guys, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, well, that's awesome, Mike. And anything else that you took away from this as we move to asking other people there? Well, okay, let me rephrase. Besides being in person, everybody wants to be in person. Is there anything different you want to see next year, or anything new that you're like, oh man, we missed that this year?
Oh, I don't really know. But looking at what the previous panels were, because memories don't always work that well. The power of representation was a wonderful panel to actually hear about, to get for the perspective of those who lesser knowns. And I know myself personally would not have have a right voice for that. Let's see what else.
Hey, I'm going to disagree, man, because everyone has a voice for that. Even if you're I'm just a white guy, there's still allies and there's still thoughts. Yeah, it really takes everybody. So I'm going to disagree with you there. But I get what you're saying, man, and I'm glad you checked it out, and I appreciate you saying nice things.
Yeah, all weekend I was either mobile or on laptop. So actually, I did have everything up on being there. Like, just the one, I will say, the RSS in the modern podcast era was not interesting to me because I don't podcast. That's it.
Okay.
But I listen to most of the other podcasting ones about how to start up a podcast or where to get your start at. It gives you things to think about if you want to advance in that form.
And that's fair. And typically in the real world, I have a lot more panels to shuffle around and people to really move and use. And I change the titles from podcasting unless it's really specific. Like this year, it would have stayed the history of podcasting because that's a specific project. But other things like, I don't know, there was something about getting started in podcasting that really was, you could use it for digital media across the board. So I usually change the titles and those kind of things. But that is good feedback, man. And we really appreciate you being here, and we'll bring in some other people. But it's good to put a face with a name, Stealth Bean. We like having you here, man. Thanks.
Don't worry.
Man,
Love
seriously,
Stealth Bean.
thank you so much. And make a podcast.
Yeah,
do that mechanic stream. I mean, no, people have really still been asking all weekend. I'd watch the crap out of mechanic stream. So if you need help figuring it out, you know where to find us.
Yep.
Shadow 5000.
All right, Anthony. As I bring in some other people here, what was your takeaway, man?
My takeaway with this is that this was literally unprecedented. That the ask that was before us was huge, to take something that exists in one form and to put on this production with the time frame that we put it on, with the amount of people required, with the amount of effort. It was phenomenal. From the outside, it would look insurmountable, but not only did we do it, but I think that it was just done with grace and aplomb. It was a beautiful week of really, really awesome stuff that everyone pitched in and did some really, really cool things. And I'm very proud of what the track was able to do. And I am just so pleased with all of the amazing panels that went on and all of the cool stuff, except for botched. I feel like there's just, there's always one, but no, it was so much fun, and I want to thank you, Charles, for all of the work you put in, the rest of the team, the behind the scenes for the track, to DragonCon for allowing it, because I'm sure that they were that the overall leadership was probably pretty terrified of what this was going to look like in general, right? Like across the board. And so to allow us to come and carve out this space still to have this place to do the thing that we all came here to do. It's just awesome.
Well, cool, man.
And
it's
we did
a numbers
ask the
game.
Pocket Expert, which was wild.
It's a numbers game, Anthony. There's gonna be a botched. You think 100 great things. There's always like, well.
I mean, think about it this way: it could be you.
Right. Yeah. So I'm glad they're here, so that it's not us.
Look to your left. Look to your right. If you don't see botched, it's probably you. So.
But everyone did an amazing job. You should take a clap on the back for that, and just take a moment to really appreciate how cool this weekend was and how much fun everybody had. And this was, it wasn't typical, but it sure was a really, really cool experience that we all got to have together, and I couldn't be happier about it. So
World's Most Okayest DM in the chat said Anthony is just sore from the absolute pounding he took last night. But I want to add, I remember last year Phil was like, oh, these guys adventuring, and I was like, whatever, I don't know them. And Charles does his little spiel about who wants to come to the seat and come sit, and I was like, who is this asshole? And
Andrew was the asshole who got out.
And then he picked a fight with a McElroy.
Yep.
And the whole time I thought it was Anthony, but Anthony, look at you now. Look at you now. You've come up. But no, man, seriously, I know it's only your second one. You're doing a ton of stuff, and I just get excited seeing people show up, enjoy it, do their thing. So congrats to you as well, man. It's been awesome.
And I have really, really enjoyed it. I mean, being a part of this and finding a space that we could come and do our stuff and meet other cool people. And, it would have been really great to see everybody in Atlanta, but this is a nice way to keep that connection going and even have new connections with people that you wouldn't expect, that the next time we are all in Atlanta, we can have that growth from there. So it was super awesome. I was so happy to be a part of it. Everyone is great, and I'll take my answer off air.
Andrew, thank you so much.
Love you all. Bye.
All right, Clinton.
Hello.
I told the story.
Charlie, got a note first. I want to make sure for the parade yesterday, that was the first time.
No.
Just
no,
what?
I'm good.
You just muted him.
Thanks, Clinton. Bye.
Oh my God, I hate you so much. I told these guys off air, but the first time I ever worked one of their shows as a tech at the table, I was just doing the audio, and they run their own videos and stuff from the main table. So all right, everything's hooked up, easy peasy. And as it starts, now I come from a background of doing live shows and making sure we have batteries, everything, right? And they start the show, and then I can't remember if it was Craig or Chuck. One of them was like, "Oh crap, the batteries aren't working," and I'm like, "Oh yes, they were. I checked that microphone." And he's like, "The batteries aren't working." And I go scrambling for batteries, and he takes off out of the room, and somebody had to grab me and say, "No, it's part of their show. They always do some weird kickoff." I was like, "Oh my God, you freaked me out, Clinton." So yeah,
I tried to get
the guys to ask the Poke expert or no, it was I think it was Botched or no, one of the guys one of those groups I was like,
I mix them up too, Scott. Oh.
You should come on and just like start mouthing words and not actually say anything and just flip Charles out.
Scott, no, man.
Well, everything that I did right yesterday I did wrong today, so that was my thing, because I paid such close attention yesterday. And then this time I came on last minute, I got this all set. I opened up Discord in a tab rather than the app, so all of a sudden we're live doing the show and I hear him ping ping ping, and I'm going, oh, that's me, what's open, and I'm calling up Task Manager. I can't figure out how to shut it off, and I'm going, stop. And I see Charles typing, somebody please mute their Discord. And then last night
it was Dennis.
It was
Dennis.
It's fine.
So last night from your talk, there was Charles talking about, and people come out with videos, and I hate that fact that they don't let me know ahead of time. And I'm going, yeah, that's a good thing to know. And then we go to come on and go, oh my God, we start with a video. Why? What was I thinking?
Yeah, I literally, I was in the green room. I was like, hey, do you guys got a video? Because they were talking about, they're like, oh, we're going to do the intro. I'm like, wait a minute, you have a video? And they're like, yeah. It's like, would have been nice to know that.
Yeah. So I said,
I had to message Charles like, oh, by the way, they've got a video.
So I said, if anything goes wrong, put it on me, Chuck and Craig are innocent bystanders in all of this mess, because I completely fell apart on that one. I also forgot to mention Tony during my talk. I don't know what I was thinking about that, because you're supposed to mention Tony at every talk, and I forget to do that too. So I know. Next year.
It's okay.
Apparently, that's a trend Bobby Blackwolf started, which I'm okay with. I mean, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, Tony doesn't need to put down his phone. He's trying to Uber eat some honey. So let the man be.
Guys. So this is a question to the chat and to the panel.
Okay.
Do you want me to really make Charles feel bad, or do we just want to let his comment go?
Make him feel bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I just got a message.
Gonna do it anyway. So
thanks, Mike. Yeah, just a message that a friend's brother passed away, and I just heard the news, so that's why I'm on my phone, Charles. I'm sorry.
No, I still think you're Uber eating. See, I know you're coming at me just to come at me.
I'll share it with you later.
I'll kick you right off this goddamn show. I don't care.
Worth it. Bye.
But Clinton,
yes.
You did great. You did really great bringing in the history of podcasting project and getting Drew to sit on that. That was an amazing thing. Every year I look for that panel, right? That I would never would have thought of, never could have put together myself. And there's usually a handful of them. And that was definitely one of them, Clinton.
And I was so happy that when I was listening last night when you guys were talking, because my biggest fear was it was going to come across as the thing I didn't want to come across as, because it wasn't, which was, get off my lawn, you young kids. Right. And your first comment was, and it wasn't that kind of panel. And I thought, oh, excellent, because that's what I was really striving for. I was sweating bullets. Last night I was like going over the night before I was going over all the questions again, going, these don't sound like questions. These aren't interesting. And I just rearranged the entire panel and then let things go the way they would go.
As a guy who didn't get into podcasting until like almost 5 years ago at this point, I thought that panel was freaking rad. And I know I said it last night, but like it could have definitely been you whippersnappers, but like it wasn't. It was sick, and it was future focused while keeping that history alive. So yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Well, I felt good about that, and then I blew it all the next day.
Not at all.
What was your takeaway from the con this year?
From the track, from the track itself, that the fact that we did it. I mean, you guys did all the work to put the whole thing on, but when the decision was made to go virtual, I went, well, we don't really do video. We don't. I mean, Chuck and Craig do for their show, but it's like Twitch is not something I know, and it's like, so I was hemming and hawing, going, oh my goodness, is this still going to work? Am I still going to be able to? So the fact that I was able to do it, to me, is the biggest takeaway. That, I mean, you guys obviously helped tremendously, because every 5 minutes I'm saying to Charles, what about this? And I don't understand that. And what's the other thing? And he goes, here's what you do, and here's the thing. So he kind of walked me through all the parts of it. And I understood everything.
You got Charles' condescending tone. That was spot on, by the way.
Hard to come across in a text, but you got it.
And I love the questions, Clinton. I'd much rather the questions than last minute panic and oh crap, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I heard Scott Moore loves those though. Last minute panic.
Last minute panics.
That's Scott's next band name.
That's my solo project.
So after a little bit earlier this evening, I went over to the masquerade on the main channel, and their audio was out of sync with their video for the host. I'm going,
they were having a whole lot of problems.
Yeah.
I was watching that, or I was watching it with some friends earlier. They were having some issues with that. So
did you have to run over and fix it, Scott?
They don't. I'm digital media, baby. They don't got me.
Oh, there's hard battle lines are drawn.
Charles told me since day one, like you're stuck with me forever.
They can't afford you.
Yeah, I can barely afford it.
Hey, Clinton, no, but in all, you know, I mean this, I clown around a lot, so I often say, but in all sincerity, but I mean it. I think that's awesome that, like you said, this maybe wasn't your regular realm, but you jumped in anyway. And it's, you know, it's scary, you know, and there was the same thing with Discord. There's a lot of people, it wasn't their regular realm. They jumped in, kind of took the plunge, and everybody helped each other out. And it turned out great. So thank you guys for believe it or not, trusting Charles to help you. Taking that plunge.
And also and this is for everyone, like everyone really stepped up and worked with us and followed what we asked them to do, which made this, you know, 1,000 times easier than it could have been. This could have been a mess, you know, but everybody really stepped up, you know, and that's that's one of my biggest takeaways is that, you know, this group of people were flexible. We're able to adjust to a completely different situation like this.
Well, and also I think that it opens up some opportunities too. Like you say, you don't do video, but you did video today. And like I was saying to Mike, I would love to see like how y'all come up with the bits that you do and the jokes that you do. Like watching a panel on how you write your show is something that I would definitely watch. So like video, like having that video outlet and practice opens up so many like other avenues for content.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah. Thinking about the fact that I do, because I do a podcast, I do a month-long story every April. And so that's a lot of big process doing that. And that would be something that might be interesting to see the behind the scenes on that type of thing.
Behind the scenes stuff is amazing. Yeah.
I'll be curious to see how many people either start new, whether it's a stream or, you know, they take their podcast into streaming or video. Like, I'll be interested to see, like, between now and next year, if some people maybe start moving into this realm a little bit more. Because it's one of those things, like, you know, and like Clinton was saying, is like you hear Twitch and you hear Discord and this, and you're like, oh my God, you know, like, how does this all going to work? And then you get there and you do it, and it's like, oh, this actually isn't as difficult as I originally thought, you know, and that may open it up, you know, more media for everyone.
Well, just to be on the safe side, I did start a server, you know, just said, oh, well, I have one there. So
yeah,
you never know.
You never know.
What is something, again, I know we all want to be in real life next year, but what is something that we can bring to the table next year that's new and better? Besides, you know, shouting out DMT and everybody just shouts out, drop the mic. Because that'd be, that I like. I want to do that. That'd be cool.
But all of us would be like, no, don't actually drop.
Yeah,
but
all the things like, don't actually drop
somebody.
Mike, don't drop the mic. I will reach through.
Tony.
I will reach through Twitch and strangle you.
Tony, we need to get branded foam microphones to hand out for people to do.
There you go.
So anyway, but sorry, Clayton, what would you like? What would you like to see?
That's a great question. I think I'd like to. It probably already exists, but I didn't pay attention because I wasn't doing it. You know, the idea of the type of setup when you're doing the live things that we've been doing, like what is involved with that, because it's all smoke and mirrors to me right now. And again, you may already have done that type of thing, so that might not be new. It would be new to me, but it might not be new to the whole thing. But because I think just like podcasting and everything else, there's always somebody coming in. There's always somebody that, you know, has a question about this, that, or the other thing. I know I certainly would if I went to do it. I'm trying to think. I just have these visions of it has to be live next year. First of all, I mean, we have to be back in Atlanta. Just I'm thinking good thoughts every single second about that. You know, I think I'd like to have, if that was the case, right? When that is the case next year that we're back live, I don't know what the possibilities of this are, but the fact that some of this was virtual, to have a member of the panel who isn't there. Have we done that before, where basically you have a monitor?
We kind of did it once on one of my panels.
Did it crash and burn?
It didn't crash and burn. Actually, it didn't. It did okay. But
it was a little touch and go. At first.
It was.
I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. But the DragonCon itself is always trying to get us better internet and better space. And honestly,
but the person in the basement besides, you know, so it's
like... So it is something that would be interesting. The one thing I'll promise, though, I will never do a wholly digital panel. I've seen cons that do that where the presenter is just on the screen and nobody's at the table, and there's always a delay in questions. It's like, no, we have to have real people at the table. But I'm not opposed to having a fourth or fifth member up on the screen. You know, let's do that.
And to be fair, the one virtual member was in like Qatar, right? On a cell phone.
Yeah, he's in Kuwait or Qatar or something. Yeah.
So we would do, I think, a better job of if we knew beforehand and setting it up. You know.
Yeah.
And I think too, like the advancement that we've gotten in video conferencing software, even in the last year, like, I don't know about y'all. Zoom had only come across our desk like 2 years ago?
3 years,
for the show. So like before that, all our asses were on Skype.
Yeah.
Like
yeesh. And I cannot even remember how we got Chris in, because I don't even think it was Zoom at the time. I think we did something. We were on something.
It was Skype. We Skyped them
Skype?
in.
Yeah.
And so, we sent the video.
And that's the year we only had like 6 up or something.
Soup cans and string, right? Isn't that what we did?
Yeah.
That's basically
across
what it
the
felt
ocean.
Like.
Carrier pigeons. Exactly.
So, but Clinton, and I hope I don't embarrass you here, Clinton, but when I first took over and we were talking about, it was still the last year was the podcast track, and I said, we're not going to call it that anymore. We're going to call it digital media. Clinton and a few others contacted us like, we're worried about where this is going, and we had a great talk, and I love that people want to hear me out and hear what the ideas are, because once you did, you and everybody else you were all in, and I'm glad that you stuck around, that you're all in, that you're doing more, because I know you've had Craig and Chuck had their. I think are you on the Trek podcast as well with them?
Yes.
Yeah. So all three of you got on other panels to do your shows over there, and it's growth is scary, but it's fun, and I really appreciated you guys hearing me out, and not just hearing me out, but sticking around and investing your time and energy. It's been awesome.
No problem. Thank you guys for everything you've been doing all weekend. Absolutely amazing. And I tried to make sure I called you out both times, both panels, but I'll call you out again. Amazing job.
Thank you. I thought you were talking about how I hadn't seen this live yet, but that's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But did I mention the parade? I just wanted to make sure I mentioned the parade.
There's always going to be a moment. Thanks, Clinton.
See you in 2021, Clinton. Hey, before we move on, I'm sorry. In chat, Tyra mentioned Scott Moore, Scotty Mo, Scott Moore, I mixed them up. Scott Moore was super patient in the chat when getting everyone set up, was able to, and this was Tyra speaking, chat with everyone, get everyone straight, kind of made everyone comfortable before we got going. So I just wanted to share that. Kudos. You know, Scott, I know we say it a lot, but it's deserved. And it's not me saying it this time, it's Tyra. But it's definitely deserved. It needs to be said, man. It was for those uncomfortable in Discord and things, you're just super cool. All right, we got it. And when some of us are like, what the fuck? What? Come on. Like, one day, I hope to see you just pissed off because I just got to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
You didn't see me a couple times last year, Tony.
No, I'm telling you, man, it's always super cool. Always super cool. Yeah. So, like Bobby Blackwolf said, it's like you're a professional.
There was a few times last year where I was pretty pissed off. No, and again, like, and I appreciate that, and Tyra, I appreciate that as well. Like, everyone really do appreciate that, but a lot of that comes from all of you. Like, y'all made my job easy. We asked you to get into the green room. You came into the green room. Everybody just worked with what we were doing.
Yeah. And I was just checking to make sure it wasn't my internet. I think Scott's internet, but on that, I'll leave him sitting here. He'll be sitting here. But Anthony did point out one legit thing I would love for us to carry over is how all these panels are going to stay on YouTube. That's amazing. It's been great to be able to capture all of next year's panels also. And I love Bobby Blackwolf because with it in like half a second, he's like, dude, they're on YouTube. Most of them are already there. But I think to the point is the goal last year was to record every panel that we could. And what happened was in the rush of doing things and the fact that things did not go according to plan. I had rented 3 cameras, rented 3 stands, everything. And once we unpacked all the gear on Thursday, one stand and one camera was out. So we actually had to start moving gear. And when you do that, settings get off. And thank you, Krugel. But when settings get off, some of it just got ruined. The audio got blown out. People, here's something that will not happen again. Is like, no, we use our memory cards in the story. We'll get you the data. And actually, had this been real DragonCon this year, I actually had Mike Woodard coming in, and that was his only job, was to sit at a computer and process onto individual. We were gonna buy a whole bunch of individual flash drives and just here you go. So within a couple of hours, you'd get your stuff. So we lost. Actually, we had 2 major sponsors do a panel, lost it 100% because they put their card in. I took it out. They said, we don't have it. Do you have it? I'm like, no, that was your card. I don't know what to tell you. So, unfortunately, it got lost. So no swapping stuff. Anyway, yes, Anthony, we do. I'm with you. I want to be able to do everything that we do in all the rooms and just have it populate our page. Let's bring in, go ahead as you talk.
Bring someone in,
Bobby.
The takeaway last year, and this is credit to you guys and the team, the takeaway last year was, hey, if they're on Twitch, let's stop and start instead of this one long, like a billion hour thing. And so myself, I had 2 panels on Twitch. An hour later, they were out there and already on YouTube. And I was able to, the next day, I was thank the panelists. I was like, hey, here's the panel. It's already out there. Share it, go forth, do whatever. So that was super easy. And I think a huge advancement over last year.
Did we not use headphones because I hear my voice back from somebody? But no.
It's either Sean or Bobby. Yeah,
it's Dennis. Yeah. It's fucking Dennis.
It was Dennis.
Yeah. It's always Dennis.
But no, shit, I forgot the point. I was going to answer to your point, and did we use Twitch last year? Because I know when we used Facebook,
yes, we did.
Video is moving the videos was very difficult. So
that's not Mr. Smush, fake ass Mr. Smush.
This is Pixel. This is my 19-year-old kitty Pixel, who's very camera shy because the lights are on. There she is.
A huge difference this year too, though, is that this is on my internet, which is, I call it the streamer package. It's unlimited bandwidth. It's really fast down and up. Whereas at the at the Hilton, we get maybe 8 down, and like I had to push for 8 up. And I've worked hotel just like Scott. I've worked hotel stuff, and I know all they really have to do is punch in numbers. It's no big deal to them. But it was, and even the IT department, it's not an easy peasy process. But we are trying to move to another hotel, which hopefully I've been told will actually be better to work with for internet. Because if we can get 30 down, 30 up, then we can broadcast 2 rooms at one time, and we can be uploading and on Twitch going to transfer over. And that's, I think, been one of the things this year is, while I'm sitting here, my whole job is to give you feedback. Yeah, that's awesome. But at the same time, I'm going to transfer over and this and that, and the bandwidth supports it. So that's good. But Sean, while you're no longer in the heat box of a studio, Sean.
Yeah. And of course, because I changed where I was, my laptop was like, wait, which mic do you want to use? What the heifer?
And it gave you a Kurt Booten filter for your voice.
Right.
God, I wish.
I just wanted to get the Buster Sword in the background. That's all I really wanted to do.
So what was your takeaways this weekend, Sean?
Honestly, so the thing that hit me today, and I was actually really surprised, was this was a big weekend still. And we finished our last panel, went from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, 2 to 3. Then I had to go to Home Depot to pick up some ant traps because fucking ants.
Georgia, baby.
And I was going, and I hit the parking lot, and I had that DragonCon end of con like melancholy just right in the face. And so I put my mask on. I'm going to Home Depot, just like.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's just the same as it is every year. Oh God, this is weird. I'd like to kill some things, please.
Please sell me some poison, sir.
Did you watch Ask the Pokédexpert this morning and want to kill a whole bunch of Pokemon or something? Okay.
Every day.
Is it a good con for you?
It was still fun. It was for all the changes, yes, it was odd, but I still got to have, I think as someone mentioned it in chat before I got on, but like the green rooms were still great. We got a good 10 minutes to hang out and chat and familiarize ourselves visually and with an audio, not just in typing, because I'm very much a face-to-face person. So that was handy. Like I still got to have that. All right, the crowd's shuffling in. So who are you? Oh, cool. Yeah, no. Oh, right. You're Kruggles. You're whatever face. I'm like, okay. Like, it was so bizarre, but I still had a great time getting to interact and just talk with my fellow panelists. And I was completely nervous about how audience interaction was going to go. So I'm really glad that you were there to be like, so-and-so says this. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Because I'm not used to very much live interacting with people. I do my stuff, I put it out, or I stream and I just don't pay attention. So,
that's fair. And a lot of people cannot separate their attention. So I was like, no, I'm just going to take that out of the mix. You don't need to separate your attention. I'll feed you what you need. Plus, if it's a big panel, I mean, the comments just fly by to you. So.
Yeah.
So there was that. What do you want to see new and fresh next year?
New and fresh next year. That's a little tough. I mean, new and fresh. So compared to this year, everything. I want to see all of you in person. And I know I said, like, of course, we'd never do a digital panel again, but I feel like we were able to get a lot done somehow in a much more condensed amount of time. Like I realized we can't do multiple panel rooms, but like we were just we were going in and out. And of course you've been watching for 8 to 12 hours. That's phenomenal. I don't know. Maybe it's just actually, do we live stream to Twitch normally?
Theoretically, we did it last year. I know we live streamed somewhere, but there was issues and whatever.
Yeah, to me, that would be the coolest thing is getting enough bandwidth to do that.
That's the goal. Yeah, absolutely.
I really want to play role-playing games with someone on one of the panels. Because I finally got to watch it this year because I'm always doing something else. So I finally get to sit down and watch and go, oh, that's fun. I like that.
I hope we get a new physical room next year that's bigger than what we have now and better to set up. Because I want a command center. Not just for me, but for the techs, is we have that little table and we have to do everything. But I'm telling you, having my at-home studio with the 3 monitors and be able to jump in Discord and somebody's like, oh, no, I'm missing my panels. I'm like, hey, let me help you out and point you to other directors because it's not on our track, but I'll help you out. Or last minute, get this person in this room so they can sound check. Having this command center that we could not do at DragonCon because we don't have the space was phenomenal just to be able to jump back and forth with everything. I would love to be able to build something like that next year to where we have a real big internet presence where somebody's job is to sit there and feed the chat on Twitch and say, hey, this is something we tried to do last year. It just, I don't know if it just didn't work or people weren't as interested because it wasn't as digital, but he's like, hey, Scott usually was going to be the guy to do it. It's like, hey, we've got a question from Twitch chat right now. Let me throw that to you. And we really had very little of that, but I want to keep that going, I think, is having that world watching us. And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed we didn't hit 300 followers on our channel. We got close. We didn't quite do it. We could be streaming to thousands of people, and if you can't come to the con, and DragonCon's getting behind this. At first, there was some rules about you can't stream, but they're like, but that's what you do. Let's fix those rules, because they want people to come to the con. So the celebrity stuff still, like the David Tennant stuff, that's behind the paywall, which is understandable. But I think they're seeing what we do as an advertisement to be here, because even if you're sitting at home watching, you're not having the same fun that even on Zoom that we're having together. Right. And that's what we want to do.
There's nobody on this earth that will say, I'll just stay home and watch it on my computer instead of going in person. That's just not happening, you know? So if anything, you're only gaining interest.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's
like
the consolation
mom,
prize option.
My mom, who's never going to come to DragonCon, will watch all of my panels and then stick around for others and be like, this was such a fun experience. Yeah.
Definitely.
I learned how to make a Twitch.
I'll talk to your mom. We'll get her to come out. There's something for everybody.
Dude,
and I think
her mom's so rad.
She's a brilliant costume designer, so she would actually probably love it.
She would lose her shit. Like,
So
Channing's got to get his fucking show on the air. Let's go, Channing.
Hey, one thing that I got to have here this year that we don't normally get to have that I would like to see added is a craft services table, because I was like 5 minutes before a panel like eating some spaghetti and some vegan chicken nuggets. I'm like, this is fantastic. I don't get to have this at DragonCon. So
yeah, Charles, if we could have some dietary friendly free food for us.
You can have one or the other. You can have free food or dietary friendly. You can't have both, because we always have a cube of Mountain Dew and a bunch of crackers at the tech table for everybody who wants them.
I mean, I'm looking at the Zoom chat right now. We have a bunch of crackers. So.
Oh, you took my joke! Damn it, Chad!
Classic podcasting trend.
So we got to bring in some more people. We'll get the Bobby, but thank you, Sean, for being a part.
Hi, guys. Love you all.
And thanks, Stephanie, for helping so much with that Bard talk and making Mike do the frat boy thing. All right, Bobby.
So good.
Charles, I got to add, because you know me. I absolutely love your idea of a better setup for our tech people, because I'm at home, and I'm not bragging. I have a better setup here in my personal office than we did at the panel, and it's hard to keep up with Discord and Twitch and what's going out. You just need a better setup. And this isn't a dig at the track or the
we do what we can with what we got. Yeah,
we have to scrimp and scrounge and borrow equipment. I like you once you were like, dude, can I just have your laptop? Well, yeah, sure. But I think if we a bigger monitor, something, we can. If we have a little more, we can do a lot more.
Well, and that's something I'm trying to talk to DragonCon about. Again, all talks got put on hold this year because it became a. Are we going to do it? And then as the year progressed, okay, we're not going to do it. What are we going to do? And it was a very much, and that's the thing, DragonCon had to plan 2 cons at one time, a real world con and a virtual one, until they got the word that said, okay, insurance-wise, you can be released from doing it.
They had to wait 60 days out or something.
And so it really was pushing both things uphill. And then they go, okay, now we can focus on the digital, but now it's 60 days out. So here's and I think Regina and Rachel and everybody else did a great job of at the top really making that happen. So, but the talks that we're trying to have is how do we raise money legit without getting DragonCon in trouble or anything else? Because I've asked about selling shirts, like, no, we can't do that. That's something that because there's legalities and stuff like that. But I was going to talk to him about a Patreon. If we hit, I don't know. We on DragonCon Digital Media, DC Digital Media on Twitch tonight hit affiliate. So I literally got a pop-up message in the middle of one panel. I'm not going to say which panel, but I got in the middle of one panel, and it went, "Hey, not all streamers are as dedicated as you. Click here to find out about affiliate." They're like, yeah, no, we've only done like crazy hours this weekend. That's cool.
And that stuff next year, just think,
Well, I got clear
set up for that.
Yeah, I got clear with DragonCon.
Yeah,
and,
understood. Yeah.
And to Sean's point about DragonCon's over, we hopefully will be doing content once a month on this channel, live content once a month on this channel, with different people that will get you that panel feel and get you that DragonCon hit. So that is, and you know, timing is everything, because I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, especially because he's sitting on the panel. But we plan to try to do stuff in the past, but you know, timing is everything. And I'm really not throwing you under the bus, Bobby. You and I just did not have the time and the wherewithal to put that together. But there was a different world, and more people are like, oh yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'm already talking to the educators about doing something once a month, and I want to do something, you know, on the off month, so that somebody's doing something different every month. But Bobby, what was your big takeaway?
So my big takeaway was that if anybody could pull this off, it would have been y'all, and it would have been us that are used to doing this. Because when I heard that DragonCon was going digital, I'm like, well, a bunch of us that are on the digital media track, we're used to doing these live streams on Twitch, and I knew this was possible because I kind of do what we've been doing every Sunday night. And I know, Charles, I know you do it as well. So I'm like, we're going to be in good hands. This is going to be great. And I said it on the first night, and you're like, don't jinx us. But we also had an insane amount of luck on our hands because it actually went off. There were a few hitches, and there's always going to be, but it actually everybody pulled it off because we had the right pre-planning, and we were able to roll with the punches and stuff. And being a part of another event that's normally physical and went digital, all virtual for the first time, and seeing how they, with professional equipment, at a, you know, command center in a hotel where nobody else was, and how they like went 4 hours behind schedule on the first day. And those are like paid people, and that we were able to pull this off without that. That was like my big takeaway from this is, and for me, I've been coming to DragonCon since 1990 something. And, every single DragonCon is different. I do different things at every single DragonCon, and this is just yet another different DragonCon. Next year is going to be different from this one, even if on the off chance we're doing this exact same thing, it's still going to be different. And this one's definitely going to be a very memorable one. Yeah. And I agree. And yes, it's okay to throw me under the bus because I had all these great ideas, and then
I'm not. I'm really not.
I know exactly. But I'm throwing myself under because I, you know, said, well, let's do this and all that, and I had some grand ideas, and then I think I was like, we'll start doing it in March, like kind of in my head, and then
as obviously, a right.
Yeah, and then March happened, and I was not in a good mental place personally. I mean,
it's not like anything happened in March, right?
I know.
Like, nothing affected anyone. So,
but I did set up things like our auto hosting. So, like, I think there was a thing in chat because I am used to reading chat while I'm on stream. Yeah. Somebody said in chat, you know, well, why don't we auto host people? And I've actually done that. So this Twitch channel, DC Digital Media, does have auto host for my shows, for the shows on GSTU. I put Atlanta by Night on there when they started their Twitch channel, and so, you know, you can submit those and have Charles add them to the auto host list.
And the way you do that is in Discord. I was just gonna flat out tell you, if you Discord's where I live now, especially for this track, and there's very few people I'll go outside Discord for, like email or whatever. The email's out there. It's digitalmedia@dragoncon.org, I think it is. I always have to look it up. I don't use it enough. I have to look it up. And then of course the Discord, I'll just do it here in Twitch. I can read it off of here.
And so that I want to add, Bobby, you mentioned like, oh, we had these ideas, it didn't happen. And I mean, I know this sounds like the most Tony Robbins like spin, but it didn't happen yet. You know, it's still a good idea.
And I am still
like
willing.
It's never going to like, we didn't miss the boat. You know, it's a good idea. It didn't happen just quite then, but we're building on it, talking about it. And this year kind of forced our hand, and I'm confident it will happen.
We actually have a setup now. We have a setup now.
Yes.
We can do this. And even Tyra had a good idea too that I didn't think of originally. Maybe at a halfway do a mini con where we have on an afternoon, a Saturday afternoon, do like 4 or 5 panels maybe. And, you know, in a mini con. But like I wanted to do stuff like to let everybody know some of the inside baseball. I wanted to do a panel like in March, like, or January or February on this Twitch channel, like, hey, submissions for a panel on the digital media tracker
how to
open.
submit, exactly.
Here's what we're looking for. Here's how you submit, and here's what you should think of when you're submitting. And then in May or June, hey, your panel was just accepted. Now what? And stuff like that to build up to the con.
Yeah.
And then we get that digital following, which means so the people who literally can't make it to DragonCon for whatever reason, distance, money, whatever, they can then participate virtually with us in the room, and then having the better control center, if we are able to get that, and, you know, however many years that's going to be, and then they can be a part of it as well, and it'll be just a well-oiled machine, and Skeptrack will then be jealous of us.
Exactly. You know, I want all the tracks to be jealous of us, to be real. I mean, we bring the show. It is literally what we do. If we, not that anybody's doing anything bad, but if we can't do it better, then why are we calling ourselves Digital Media Track? I basically said that the first night. That's my goal. And I'll say this every year. My goal is to build the machine so when I step back, and I will be stepping back in some time, that whoever steps up, the machine is there and ready to go. And now it's their flavor putting on it, their kind of style and where it goes and where they can grow it.
And one thing I like to say, and I said it in the Discord earlier today, experience is what you get just after you need it.
Yeah. I didn't know who said that when they referenced it, but I was like, yeah, no, that's the thing. And, you know, if you don't have mistakes, if you don't have that hard times, how do you get experience? How do you work it out? But Bobby, I'm gonna kick you out.
Mike Faber quote?
No, it's a Bobby Blackwell quote.
I'm just saying.
No, it's a Bobby Blackwell quote. But yeah, anyway, I know I'm about to get kicked off. But it's been an honor working with y'all, and hopefully I will work with y'all continually throughout the next year. I will be in the Discord, and hopefully we'll talk to you guys a lot more very much soon.
Yeah, man. I want to say, as we bump you out, Bobby, again, huge thanks to Bobby. He's a giver. He's always offered to sponsor the track, and because that's what his network does. He is not a part of the Quody Fingers team. He's not a volunteer, but he does all the work of a volunteer. Absolutely. And he was a big help this weekend and a big help leading up to this. And I know he's going to be a big help this year. So big shout to him. Big Voice Jay. I think your name should really be Big Monitor Jay, because Jeezy Creedy, that's
goodness.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Yes.
How big a monitor are we talking? If we're gonna let's do this. If we're doing this, I want to, you know.
Okay. Yeah, it's 4K, 55 inches. No. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, mine's only.
It's 46. Only like a 50 multi-track on there, not 100. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, it would be lighter in here, but I am in dark mode right now, so it's fine.
There you go. What was your takeaway this weekend?
Can I just tell you, as a just as the casual watcher, the lurker, this was the smoothest this has ever been since your Facebook days, since the few Twitch times you were on there. The audio's been great, the video's been great. Everything stopped and started on time. You kept Justin under 50 minutes. That's never been done. That's never been done. I don't know what you did, but that was wonderful. This has just been a fantastic experience, and it only took a pandemic for everybody to get their stuff together. It would be great, and I said in Discord, you know, I got to be a part of this for some reason. But then for some reason, some idiot, I don't know who, left their Discord in idle mode so nobody could get to it.
Oh, no.
So I missed out on everything. But from the live bits I've seen to the recorded bits I've seen, this has just been a fantastic thing. And Charles, I don't know if you know,
I don't. Tell me.
The rock god of pod has been just bringing the funk and the noise. I think he added the noise. I think he added the noise back in 2007, since the No Agenda show days, the No Agenda stream days, the Dirty Boxers days, all of that way back in the day. So I knew that if McFall was in charge of this, it was going to be just fantastic.
So just for that, Jay, I'm going to remove the restraining order. I appreciate it, man.
Finally.
We're never going to hear the end of that from Charles.
I don't know that anybody knows me that far back. That was awesome.
Oh, and I've got a +1 to that, because the thing is, like Charles literally had to run the stream the entire con. Like he had to be at his desk in that seat pretty much 99% of the time. You know, we tried to work out something and it ended up getting all messed up. So he just said, okay, I'll run it. So like for all the, you know, praise I've gotten for the green room, like double that to Charles.
Did you just come on here to give Charles like a more?
Well, I wanted to say that earlier when my
serious,
internet didn't cut me off.
Oh my god, he's gonna be insufferable on Wednesday. What are you doing to me?
I don't have to deal with him the rest of the year. Y'all do.
Enough of Charles. Big Voice Jay, I don't think we've met. If we have, I may have forgotten. I'm notorious, but I'm upset. I'm like, why am I just now seeing and hearing from you as we're wrapping up? I was like, who is this guy? What are you making? What are you doing? I want to hear more of it.
I have impeccable timing.
He lied in wait. He just waited.
Yeah. I just
Leave him wanting more.
Read the phone book or something.
Every year that the podcasting track happens, I feel like, oh man, I should probably do more. I should probably do more. And right now, I only stream once a month at twitch.tv/BigVoiceJ. I just do a 3-hour radio style show. There's no real topics. We're just talking weird news. We're playing mashups, skirting Twitch guidelines, whatever you want to do, as much as we can and as far as we can. And so, like, dang, I did like. I think it was Kurt's idea of reading public domain children's stories as a bedtime story.
Yeah,
that I want to do.
No,
I was just gonna say, or Shakespeare. That's a good point, Stephanie.
Oh, I want to be on the Bard Talk so bad. Oh, that made me so.
We got you. I know somebody I can talk to. I was just gonna say we got to get Jay and Kurt together.
Oh God,
to just convert. I don't care. I don't care what they talk about. I just want it for me, and it's a little late. I don't want to make it weird, but I just think, I mean, who wouldn't come? That's what our Patreon's gonna be. That's how we're gonna make money for this track.
Okay, so
Jay and Kurt.
It's going to be like a rap battle, but Kurt's going to read Cardi B lyrics, and Jay's going to read like Eminem lyrics.
Megan Thee. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
or yeah.
I was gonna say.
You know, we're going to see who wins.
Suddenly become pregnant.
You know, but yeah, Jay, that'd be.
It's always the last person you think,
and that's so. To that point, that's the encouragement I give to everybody. Again, timing is truly everything. And if you've been thinking, I need to do more, at some point the year will pop up where it's your time to do more. This was Anthony's year. We're probably going to see less of him going on forward, but
God, we can only hope.
Yeah.
Well, I also want to say, Stephanie and
No, you don't get. I was going to thank them. You don't get to thank them. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
If the next name you say isn't Swan, I'm saying it.
That was my next. Yeah,
All right.
Emily and Stephanie. Like, usually there's a couple people each year that kind of step up and shine that we hadn't seen before, and y'all two definitely did that this year.
Yeah, and what you didn't see is
You're gonna make her cry on stream. You're gonna make
I
her
didn't
cry
really
on
know.
stream.
Yeah. No, Stephanie disappointed me this year. Does that help? Okay, see there. She didn't really, but I'm just trying to help her out. That's all. But no, last year you didn't see it. Swan stepped up huge last year. And the first time she came up to me, I think it was at the botched house. It's like, I'm Emily. Like, oh yeah, you did art. She's like, and as I was getting ready to leave because I had to go do more stuff for the con. So I'm leaving the house after saying hi to everybody. She's like, is there anything I can do? Which, if you know me, that's a phrase I hate. And I went, oh yeah, that's nice, thanks. And I left, but she kept coming. Like, no, seriously, can I do something? Can I move? Here, let me do this. And it was amazing. And she really did step up. And so I was so excited to see the panels that she did this year. I think her and Krugels are going to be besties from now on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
But Jay, so you're going to do more at some point. I hope it's next year, but at some point, But what is this? You liked where it's come from. Where do you want to see the track go?
You said that you wanted to make the you wanted to have more live content on the Twitch channel. Mm-hmm. I say it's a good spot to feature, maybe introduce someone to going live.
Okay.
On the podcast track.
Like get somebody
just
new
kind
to
of give
it.
them a host. Once they said they're a new podcaster, they want to try doing the Twitch thing, give them a platform.
Do like
just like kind of a host of them.
So almost make a digital con network.
Ooh, what if we did like because I tried this with the next top moderator, right, to find new moderators, because I had like 2 people I could go to when I took over, and I didn't want that to happen, so we did some contests, discovered some new people. But what if we do like I don't want to do like next top host, but some kind of little contest of you get a guaranteed panel at DragonCon if you start with, because we're giving feedback and we'll be teaching them, and I don't know. I like that idea, Jeff.
I'm making that face. I'm like, ooh, okay.
With the
like
March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
Like...
yeah. And as they get better, as they make it through, just because you didn't make
for the digital media spot.
Dancing with the podcasters.
I don't want to like pit people against each other. I do like just an avenue.
After y'all got whooped this year, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
coming back. 1, 2, 3.
We only have so much time in the night for us to
Sorry, Charlie.
No, we don't.
Yelling at me, let me in.
Mark Gunn don't go on till 1. We're good. But when Jay mentioned it, my thought was it's just an opportunity, like Charles and just somebody who's never done it. And yeah, it's going to be awkward and cringy and weird, but it's going to get them out there. And we being, the quote unquote team, the experienced people, can help and work with that person and, kind of ask them questions and just give them an opportunity. Not everyone has a Twitch channel. Not everyone's set up, but this could be their Twitch channel. You want to jump on, try something out. It could be a good learning ground, training ground.
This is the outreach I'm talking about here that you guys are on about. I want to give you sort of a digital incubator type thing, a virtual incubator, if you will, where you kind of hold their hand, devote maybe a day a month to have a workshop. This is what you need. You don't need to break the bank. Don't listen to blah, 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 blah. And just give people a bit of a roadmap from I want to start a podcast to now I'm streaming on Twitch.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you, for me, it was a learning curve because I'm better heard than not seen. I'm ears first, so I made sure the audio was right. And then instead of, the folks who tuned into the show, it's like, hey, you got to be on Twitch. And it's like, oh, God, I got to get on Twitch. I got to find cameras. I got to get lights. That's why I'm in the dark. I don't want to turn all that on.
No. And I got to let you go, Jake, because we got a bunch of people still trying to get back in. But to that point, before I let you go, I love that. I love the idea that we're not just a track, we're a training ground, and people don't just learn something from a panel once a year, but they get tutelage. And I have a room in Discord for mentorship. And we have 2 or 3 mentors in there, but the timing wasn't right. Maybe this year's the right time to really launch that, where people can start getting mentors.
And we can even and some of these tutorial things we're talking about of like, hey, you want to join the con, you want to pitch we can do that as a video, put that on our YouTube page, and grow our audience through there as well.
Thank you, Jay. And anytime you want to talk about my awesome history and how I bring the funk, you're welcome to, baby. Every time.
You got it.
And Charles, as you're bringing the next person in, I just want to say, like, the digital media track in general is, in my opinion, the most accessible track of DragonCon, because, like, I write YA fantasy literature. So there are 3 tracks right there that I'm, hyper suited for. And it's so hard to like find who to talk to and who to get in touch with and who to, make my connections with. And I love how out there digital media is and how available and accessible you all are to talk to new people and to encourage new people to be part of it.
Mike and I, I'm sorry, Charlie, we're just talking about that. And he was like, I don't know who's the who for the different tracks. And I was like, dude, over the course of literally 10 years for me, I'll learn one here and there, and I'll like friend them on Facebook and kind of keep up, but it's extremely informal and messy and you don't know where to go. This one is go to the Discord and everyone there will help you. That's where it is. It's not a secret,
it's amazing.
that's where you go. Yeah. And if you don't get a panel, you're at least talking to people who are, and maybe you'll get to sit on one or help and contribute in some way.
I would bet with the connections I've already made and the connections I know that are to be made, that we could get not just you guys who are amazing teachers. You are all teachers. Everybody's good humans, but specialty people. Like if you want to do music podcasts, I know we get Brian Ibbett to come and do a tutoring, a master class, if you will. Roberto Blake, who didn't have time this year. He's super busy, but he's always wanting to do stuff with us. I guarantee you want to do something with YouTube or entrepreneurship, boom. My soon-to-be best friend that he doesn't even know who I am yet, Gary V, we'll get him in. I love that man. But yeah, it's this good stuff. And this is what I want to do. I mean, I want to keep it going. And I don't think masterclass is the right word, but something like that where we're teaching people and tutoring people. And
it might be,
people.
yeah. Workshop masterclass.
Yeah, but the widest Chris Wisdom I've ever seen, who wants to Zoom and drive at the same time, has jumped back in. Phil?
No, he's not moving. Parked. He's not moving. He's parked.
I'm parked.
All right.
From the representing the 2020 Blood Feud champion of the world.
Sitting in a Chili's parking lot somewhere in Pennsylvania at, I don't know what, 12:30 at night, not inconspicuous at all.
Hey, bud, could you turn your volume down a little, bud?
Yeah, you sound like me the other night on Almost Daily Discourse. Yeah. Jesus.
Chuck, man, this has been a hell of a fucking weekend, dude.
Yeah.
We talked, I think, back in May, and I said, man, you need to start planning, because this ain't going anywhere, and I feel like this is our year to shine. And goddamn, I mean, you fucking delivered. Every one of the people that was working behind the scenes, and even the panelists getting in, getting set, everything. This was the tightest ran digital media track that we've ever had, and it's been wonderful, man. It really has. And a lot of these panels that I probably would miss because I'm out gallivanting, through the Hyatt or the Hilton or just anywhere. I got to see a lot of these panels, and they've been wonderful. So
I think a good testament to that, and I don't mean to pick on them, but Botched was like maybe 90 seconds late, right? It was like 10:01, and people were like, "What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah,
what's going on? Let's go! Come on!"
The whole chat was like, "What is this ever gonna fucking start?" And like, I don't think I went to a single panel last year that started on time. But that's the level that we had set over 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, it was consistent viewing through all 3 days.
Yes. Yes.
And not only was it consistent viewing, but it was different names viewing every different panel, right? We had our core group that was there, but I always saw different names popping up. And not only that, they were popping up, but also interacting in chat.
Yeah.
And which is beautiful because, normally with a panel, we only have let's say the last 10 minutes to kind of fit in Q&As. But at this point, we could pull in questions throughout the entire panel and then work through them, And let me tell you, man, Pokedexpert, God damn, Pokedexpert.
That was such a great panel. That was so I was not going to watch that one, and I'm glad I did.
It was good.
I'm saying that because I don't give a rat's ass about Pokemon.
Sure.
Not because of anything about y'all.
Let me tell you, I love Pokemon.
I've noticed. That's why you were out. That's why you were out searching for them on your boat.
To Phil's point, there's a lot of stuff you're normally not. You can't catch it all in person. So you gotta
see what you did there.
I didn't even try, y'all. I can't take credit for that.
I get it. You're so good, Tony. You don't even try.
And you gotta pick and choose when we're on site. Hey, when am I gonna go to something else? When am I gonna see some friends? When am I gonna eat? When am I gonna sleep? So you're not gonna catch it all. But with this, you can. Like to Scott's point, I'm half interested in Pokedexpert, but it was a very limited effort to put it on, And I think Phil made the same point. I was able to see a lot more than I ever would have And like the past 2 days when we're done bullshit at like 1, I'm like, why am I exhausted? I'm like, oh, I've been doing this all day, you know, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. It was awesome.
But in the past, we've gotten a little guff about using, you know, the same 10 to 20 people, you know, for these panels. And this allowed us to bring in people from all over the world. Right?
Yeah.
Sitting down to watch the Niger Nerds last night, it was incredible. And I reached out to Naru and I said, dude, thank you so much for this panel. I would never have known about these guys or their art. This is incredible. And it's such a gift that you brought to the entire track. Right.
And I think that go ahead. I'm sorry.
Or just like with Audrey, right? She lives out in Cali. She can't, she's had, you know, issues in the past and she can't make it out. But, you know, through this way of doing it, it was wonderful. And a lot of different faces on every panel. It was great.
And when you said that, it sparked me to think of, I think something Bobby said, we can incorporate some people digitally, you know, like, yeah, we don't just want a bunch of monitors, but like for Naru, hey, I got a couple guys in fucking Africa. Hey, we'll put them on the monitor. Let's kind of combine it and make it work. I just think it's awesome.
Technology.
We can rebuild him.
Yeah. Not because I don't get grief for taking credit and making it about me, but I actually want to make it about it is about me, but it's about what I do for other people. And Bobby said multiple times this year that if I literally got to the point where I was yelling at him from panels in the room, going, put in for pro. And what I wasn't telling him at the time, I was like, because I approve pro and you're a fucking pro and put in for it, you know, but I was saying, and he finally did. And they ultimately, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bobby, they ultimately went to Twitch because I kept saying, you need to be doing your stuff like that over there, make some money if you're going to, or do something. And same with Naru. Last year, you know, he's been there 2 years in a row doing Nerves from Work. And I think he's on the Blurred panel last year. And he really hit that Nigerian heart. And here's what I came from. And I went up to him after, I was like, why are you not doing Nigerian Nerds here? He's like, what, really? I could do that? I'm like, I want to slap you so hard. You see the name of my shirt, it says director, and I'm telling you, do this damn panel. And that's the only part I had in it. But if I'm telling you to do something, it's because I believe in you should be doing it. And so far over the last couple of years, I'm not wrong. The panels that people don't like, I didn't say let's do them. I said I think this is going to do something on the panel, or let's at least give it a shot. And not everything's for everybody, but there's definitely panels that will pull 4 people in the room that just aren't here anymore, because I want people to engage. And so far, I think last year, the lowest engagement we had was a half-filled room, you know, which is still saying something. So
I'll take that any day. Yeah,
do it.
Right.
If you get approved, you're good.
I think that's why you and I, Charles, and we've talked about this offline, but that's something we're on the same wavelength of. Is I'm not going to limit myself. You know, we're like, fuck it, we'll do San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, no big deal. And other people are like, well, I don't know if I can do a panel at DragonCon. That's just never been our attitude. You know, it's a shoot for the stars type of thing. All right, it's actually, you shoot for the stars, you hit the moon. A lot of people get it backwards, but you get the point. Don't limit yourself. You know, worst that DragonCon can say is no, and life goes on. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? What do you want to see better, you know, next year, Phil?
Oh man, I can't even answer that right now. I really did like the talk about the brackets and trying to, you know, see these younger, newer shows kind of fight for their spot. I thought that was a brilliant idea. You know, just to see, you know, a chance of these people that if you're committed to your show, which you should be because you created it, it's your baby, go out there and make it work. You know, I love that idea.
I knew you'd be on my side about fighting for a spot. I knew it.
No, I do. I like that. Because, like with any good, and fill in the blank for whatever you feel like is a good contest. For me and Phil, it's Great British Bake Off. Any good contest, they all belong there. Somebody has to go home, but as they rise up, even the 6th place and the 5th, they're like, man, these people are amazing, and I want to see them do something else. And that's the goal. It's not to show you're the best. It's to say, no, you absolutely get a panel because you've proven you earned it. And let me tell you a little secret about DragonCon DMT. you got to earn the damn panels. And if I don't know you, you did a good enough pitch, and I went, I feel that. Now let me talk to you a little bit more and see if I need to put people with you or if you can do it yourself. And that's one of the things I did love about this year with Discord that we're going to keep is I made a panel lead on every single panel and said, you go do this. And they did. And you all built out amazing panels. And when you asked for help, I gave you help. Or I suggested, hey, like with Hammond and the audio, Scott, I'm like, hey, Hammond is amazing. I'm still not sure what you want to do with this panel, but you should consider him. Y'all do that kind of thing.
Absolutely, and he was absolutely great on it.
Right. So another thing, if I come to you with a name, it's probably a good one.
The fact is, like, even if that is hypothetically, right, we have these shows kind of fight for their spot. You know, even if you are eliminated, you still should fucking work and
submit a panel.
Yeah, submit.
Drive your craft forward and just evolve. Take any kind of criticism and work on it, and then still submit because you never know, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a performer, as a creator, like I thrive on notes. I'm like, give me notes. I was a former athlete. Like, give me notes. Please give me feedback. And so any opportunity like that to put yourself out there, to get exposure and to get notes and feedback and all of that, like, even if you don't make it past that first round or whatever it is, like you've gotten yourself out there and you've done something. Like, you've done it.
Yeah. And one thing I'll add to that as well is you never know who's watching. You know, quick story. The first time I had a panel at DragonCon was when we did Blood Crows the first year. And Charles noticed right off the bat that I knew how to do AV. You know, so when I went to and that was our first panel, my first time at DragonCon.
All right, he's burying the lead. He brought in a 30-channel mixer, ripped our board out, threw his board down, and went. I'm like, so there.
And so when I went to him, you know, after DragonCon, like, hey, I want to help out. You know, what can I do? He was like, I got you. Here I am.
Officially, he is my number one. He is my backup.
The story I tell the kids, the young moderators trying to come up, that they're like, Tony, I want to be like you. And I tell them, I'm like, hey, I remember a few years ago, there was a moderating contest. And let me tell you, I'm sorry.
I said it's a different Disney movie than wearing that pooper around, dude.
The little kids that come up, yeah. And oh, by the way, it's Tony P. It's exclamation mark Tony P.
Shut up, tell your story.
Don't mix me up with Anthony or none of those other Tonys. There you go, you got it. The little kids, they come up to me, they're like, what could I do to moderate? You know, did you just start off that way? I'm like, no, let me tell you. I was in a moderating contest once. I was like, your boy came in second place. He lost. There was some shitty little prize. It was like a coffee mug or something, or some trinket.
It was a trinket, yeah.
And I didn't get it, and I was like, what the fuck? And you know, and I came up. I fought back like a phoenix. Now, obviously, I'm mostly joking, but.
Because literally no one has ever said, I want to be like you when I grow up.
No. That's the serious part. That's the real part. You know,
and said Tony, you know, mentors all throughout Atlanta.
There's a bunch of little Tonys running around. I don't know. Whatever.
Finish your story, Tony.
But honestly, really what it is, you know, you're going to get turned down. You're going to lose some little stupid contests, and that's how you learn and grow. I've talked to a couple friends, I won't call anyone out, about how a lot of us are motivated by spite. You see someone doing something, you're like, I can do that better. Yeah, it was Mike and Phil. Yeah. It was our whole crew because we're all on that wavelength.
I don't want to call anyone out, but it's everyone who's on this call right now.
Yeah.
No, they raise their hands. They raise their hands. And it's whatever it takes for you to get better. Whatever motivates you, you know. Now I like to think I would never hold anyone down, but I'll see someone, I'm like, we can do it better, we can do it different, and you know, it's just how you grow. That's where I'm going with that long story.
And Phil, I'm gonna let's say your last thing, and then we'll kick you out because I got somebody waiting.
Before I leave, because I got to go pee and finish driving. Mike, Steph, Anthony, Swan, you guys fucking killed it all weekend. You guys did a wonderful job, and the four of you really bring some new life and some new energy into the digital media track. So I want to thank the four of you right off the bat. And actually, Charles, you fucking killed it. I hate to fucking kneel in front of you, but well done. And the viewers, thanks everyone for coming out.
Oh my God, yes.
We'll see you next year. I love you guys. See ya.
Love you.
Well, we'll see you Wednesday.
Miss
Okay.
you. Oh yeah,
not
that's
next
true.
year. All right. James is coming in. And to your story, Tony, that year, that's where we're going to have a different system for what we do. Yes, there will be some kind of public. Yeah, we vote for them, whatever. But whoever the we is in the panel, behind the panel of earning a track panel, right? The contest. There'll be some really good critiquing, because in that first year, what I learned is we don't do it by applause, because the guy who won that first year in moderating had brought 3 or 4 of his friends, and not that many people showed up, and they were super loud because they loved him. Honestly, he was not the best moderator. Tony really was.
I told Mike the story, and really what had happened was other friends didn't show up. My friends should have showed up. Yeah. They didn't, you know. But and it's silly, but when you have, this is in my head, you know, regardless, whatever the reason, whatever, I still lost, and I got the second place trinket, and I wanted the first place bullshit trinket. I don't even remember what it was. Actually, yes, I do. I got a Venom. It was a Venom coffee.
Oh yeah,
mug.
the stuff I wanted to get rid of from.
That sounds rad, Tony.
Okay, so I had like a whole bunch of not Think Geek. What's the Loot Crate? I had a whole bunch of Loot Crate stuff left. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give this out as prizes, and that was what that was.
I gave it to a friend of mine because he loves Venom, and I was like, hey man, I won this, and he's like, oh cool, thanks. But it was a constant reminder, and it burned constant, so I had to get it out the house. But anyway,
look at you now, Tony.
So,
yeah, I just want to know, Tony, did you when your buddies didn't show up? Tony, when your buddies didn't show up, did you just say, "Oh bother"?
I did, and then I went and ate some honey, and I got stuck in a hole. But whatever, James, whatever.
But to everybody's point about you don't know who's watching, Matthew Malice came from the next year. Anthony Reed came from the next year. Scotty Moe came from the next year. It was you. I can't remember the guy's name. Mike Woodard and somebody else. But Tony, you know, after that, I was like, no, you're going to be one of my go-to moderators. Absolutely. I don't care if you came in second. I mean, first place really was, here's a gift card, and I really just needed to see people. And then that second year, we got so many, we got 3 of you out of that I was like, I'm not going to do it the third year, because I still need to balance. And the people I want to see that I have to go find, and I did go find them, the females were not coming to compete. I was like, I'm not doing this for all dudes. I mean, I can get dudes. I can throw a rock and get a dude. So
Charles, you want someone who loves a competition?
Do I have to throw a rock at you? I don't know.
No, I will just compete for anything.
You've already got our hearts, Stephanie. What more do you want?
No, but I want to do a.
But she wants our souls.
All right. Well, Stephanie is going to be competing on Get a Guaranteed panel. So
I want the first place trinket. I love Stephanie to death, but if that's what we're doing, that's
Tony,
what we're doing.
Fight you
for that hour. It's game time, baby.
I've got an idea. But enough of that.
I mean,
we brought
y'all
in
saw Blood Feud. Like, we love Botched, but like
we talk to each other all the time. We're ignoring James. You sat here patiently for like 2 hours to get on the phone.
James, thank you for waiting, James. How's it going?
Huh? What? Oh, I'm awake. Okay. All right. No, I mean, guys, it was awesome. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I've been doing cons all year long this year. Not necessarily new media cons, but just cons in general, gaming cons, board game cons, my customs and trade group cons that I have to do, which are just, let me tell you, they're wonderful. Anyway, I would just tell you, this was one of the best run timing wise, Charles. You did a great job with it. But I think part of that is that everybody was able to bring their own equipment, like Tony has said before, bring their own equipment. We knew what worked. We knew what needed to happen. And I'm saying we, but I mean you. I'm just saying the big we.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the universal, sure.
You knew what was going to happen because the equipment that you had was good equipment, because we've all used it before. I mean, I don't know for a fact how many times you've used that mic, Charles, but I know it's been a billion times. I know Steph has been in those headsets for a billion times. Every time I turn into Ad Inc., she's got the same set of headphones on. Mike usually
her husband or her fiance doesn't buy her anything. Yeah.
That's why they're
Yeah,
always
yeah.
black. It's just always pure black. It's generic, whatever she can find. But I mean, that's my
She's
point.
resourceful. That's not my fault.
Hey, she married you.
Not yet.
Well, okay, fair enough.
There's still time, y'all.
But my point is that, for those of us that can't physically be there, I can't be there because every Labor Day weekend, I have a family commitment that I have to be at. Otherwise, my mother-in-law hunts me down and kills me usually. This is one of those things where this year being able to come in and watch it and feel like I was actually there rather than, well, maybe we've got a glitchy stream here or there, or maybe we'll get the botched version of it later on if you can stomach what it sounds like.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you've drank a lot, which is the only way that Dennis would have it, quite honestly. Being able to come in and do that, I think is awesome. I think using this channel more often is a great idea. And I'm going to put a little spin on the idea of the workshopping contest. I would say, and this is just me, because I'm like Mike, I like competition. I would make it like Shark Tank. I would say you have to come in, you have to pitch to the experts, and then the experts have to choose which person they're going to back. And then that person has to build up.
It's Shark Tank meets The Voice. Because the experts pick who they're going to sponsor. Yes. And you're Big Jim, right?
Yeah, you got a
I am Big
panel
Jim.
Big
of
Jim,
host
man.
players.
Genius.
What you think this is Skinny Jim? What are you kidding me? I mean,
I've never seen you, but I
I've
recognize
never
you
watched
from
this
your
live before, Jim. I don't know
your
what's going on. I'm just
images.
Your little
commentating.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
It's funny. I literally laid eyes on him for the first time just now, and I was like, "Wait, I know you. I recognize you. You're the
because I hide in the shadows.
Cartoon- that's the-
I have a voice built for podcasting. Okay,
That's not
you
true.
don't normally see me on cam.
That's not true. You'd be a terrible podcaster.
Thank you so much.
My gosh.
I'm just kidding. No, you
My
have a
Tech and
lovely
Trade
voice.
podcast. My Tech and Trade
Savage
podcast.
as
Thanks
fuck.
you so much,
Yeah.
Stephanie. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That makes
He
me
does,
feel
he does after the ink, right? The review Adventure Inc. shows.
Yeah, you can also cancel your support and Patreons. By the
That's
way,
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I only sponsor like a lot of the things, but I don't give everybody tons of money. I give like $1 here and $1 there, but that's because
it helps.
I believe in you guys.
100%.
I believe in you guys. And I think by doing a Shark Tank kind of thing, you're getting people to invest, if you will, into the concept of this is a person that's going to go all the way. This is the person that's going to make it.
Yeah. And maybe that's the go-to judge for a tiebreaker. Who would Big Jim invest in? And he goes, I'm going to give it to this one this week.
Be careful. There are a lot of people who will tell you that that's not a good way to go because everybody will get something.
I love it. I love that was a good spin on it.
Yeah, that's smart.
I don't even have to ask you
I
what you want to
invested
see.
in everyone. No one's getting eliminated this week because I can't do that to them.
Bring it next week. Let's see what happens. I'm sure somebody's going to suck up to me more by that point.
Oh, then I get to be the RuPaul and be like, oh no, you're going to sashay away. I don't care.
Nope, your audio is terrible. You're out.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
But yeah, number one, if your audio sucks, you're gone. I mean, I think everybody's, that's a common thing we've all said and we've proven on the panel.
Yeah.
More and more times again. But seriously, Charles, if you want my help, if you want my interest, and I'm being genuine and open and honest, I am willing to help out where I can.
Awesome.
I can't turn around and fund you like Scott can a 96 channel mixer.
Scott paid his way in.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But
Blood, sweat, and tears. But
I can provide moral support.
Yes, the moral support is great support. So,
all right, thanks
thank you,
guys.
Jim.
Love you.
I'll tell you, about
for real.
30 minutes into Bosch, I was looking at all my Patreon accounts to see which one was supporting them so I could kill it. I could not find the one that was supporting them. So apparently I still am forced to pay them. I don't know. But returning to say some last bits apparently is
oh my
A-Face.
god.
Oh, it's Andrew.
As
I just
if
figured.
we
It's
didn't
Andrew.
get enough.
Yeah. Well, I just heard earlier that I was being just shut out for next year, so I just wanted to make sure I got as much in this year as I could before.
Anthony, you were on for 6 hours today.
Not enough. Got to keep going. Got to keep running.
Can't stop till he's on every day.
Someone was giving me shit yesterday. Like, Tony's on all the panels. You mean all 2 of them? Like
yeah, they said you put yourself on all the panels. Yeah.
Maybe they're mixing up. I'm a pure Tony. I am just Tony.
I think it's just because you got
Anthony.
mentioned.
They probably
you got mentioned
mixed us
on all
up.
the panels.
That is true. He did get mentioned.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't help it. That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
The Legends of DragonCon.
But I did want to pile on with some of the things that people were saying about how tight time-wise this thing was. Like, that was such an amazing feat in and of its own right, because the physical space, it's almost impossible to do that. Doing it in a space like this is wild. That I loved Tony's point about and Mike's point about how mad people were getting 1 minute after like Botched hadn't started yet. Like, how we trained a group of people in 3 days to expect instantaneous start times or slightly early start times. Like, that's wild. It was really cool.
Well, it was kind of funny towards especially today. Like, a lot of people were jumping in the green room like 30 minutes ahead. Like, I look over at my Discord, I'm like, wait, who's in the chat? What time is it?
That's what.
Yeah, that was Mike and Anthony at like.
Oh, no, a lot of people did.
10 a.m. They were in the Discord.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I had to jump in like, you guys okay? Yeah, we're fine.
We were excited.
It was good. I felt like Discord has been a great dog whistle this year. So all I have to do is type in at everyone, and boom, everybody's. And I got so much more interaction with people going, yes, this is my panel. Yes, here's a little tweak. Hey, yes, this. Oh, all this input and interaction we built the rooms. That I almost forgot certain people that I wouldn't even want in Discord. That you're coming in to do this thing. Like Justin, right? We know if Justin's in Discord, he's going to get bombarded. And he's actually gotten in Discord, even though I said, no, you don't have to. And he has. But we know there would be people, because it's open to the public, right? There'll be people that would bombard him. He's like, okay, we need to keep. We get the macaronis, whatever. Whoever.
Yeah, the macaronis.
They're not going to be in Discord.
Bros.
Clinton, Justin, Macaroni.
Yeah. But they're not going to be in Discord. But good.
They're such good boys.
And that's the thing. We learned last year just how powerful Discord was. We used Discord a lot last year, at least for the volunteers, to coordinate a lot, different panels and where we're going to be and everything. So we had the, kind of building on what we've been doing. Discord was the infrastructure we built last year, and it's just expanded now. And now that we've kind of got this infrastructure with streaming, we can take it and do all these other things that we're talking about.
But it's been so great that I almost forgot to email Justin his information on how to get into his panel till like 2 days ago, because it was like, everything is here. I know I can just go in, bam, and done. And I think that really helped, because I put it out with no, I will say with limited exception. No, you will be in Discord, and you will get into that green room, because there's so many moving parts. And Tony, I won't call him out, but you told me there was somebody that you had dealt with personally that said, man, that's a lot of jumping around. But then they saw why we did it. And then they saw other panels. And actually, there was somebody on a panel with us, bam, 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 smooth, perfect. They did great. And they came back to us going, I don't know how to get on my other panels. And I had to go, I'm sorry. There's literally nothing I can do, because I don't even know how to get a hold of those people or how they're doing any of their stuff right now.
Yeah, thankfully I only had to explain like why we did it the way we did to a couple people. Once they understood like the reasoning behind it, like we wanted to do this in Zoom and have the green room in the Zoom chat, but we were just not able to do that. Zoom just wasn't set up that way, so we had to, improvise with what we had. So once we explained like, okay, this is why this is happening. And I credit Bobby for this, because he's been, in the Discord, like,
Bobby's been great,
answering a lot, and I see him in the chat here on Twitch, like he's answering a lot of these questions that people have of, someone asked, well, why didn't we do, a Twitch, how to get into Twitch gaming? And it's like, well, the reason we don't do that is because there's already a streaming, there's a streaming track that usually does a Twitch 101 or 102. So to differentiate from that, we do Twitch Beyond streaming.
Well, this year was tight, so I just wasn't going to do one-on-ones basically. This
year. But I'm saying, like, even then, like last year, we had the Twitch Beyond, we had that same panel, because the streaming panel usually does the Twitch 101s, 102s. We can't do that, but
we tried. Thanks, Bobby. This year we can't, but like I have extra. So we did less than half the number of panels we normally do. Yeah, and that makes a huge difference. Not having the other rooms.
Still more than any fan truck.
That's true. Yeah, DMT. No, God damn it! Fuck you guys.
I did the hand signal.
Yeah. It's a drug. You can't. Yeah.
Fine.
Hey, can I get? I got to get one more thing in because you guys know me.
Get the thanks in too.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I'm gonna do it now, and you can repeat it all. I don't care. All the panels were spot on time. That's a credit to everyone behind the scenes and all the panelists. Everyone doing a panel, whether it was a panel you liked, people you like, you didn't like, whatever. Everyone was on time. Everyone came and did their thing. But the bigger one is everyone that was constantly in the chat, whether it was people from this group. Mike was always in the chat, even though it was like 8 hours early. Stephanie was in the chat. I mean, everybody here was constantly in the chat. And then people that weren't a part, that were just fans Stephanie. And hanging out. Yeah, I said
Get
that.
Your dog.
Oh,
I meant Mike. I meant Mike. Get your dog, Mike.
Yeah, sleep in or something, dude. Go get a breakfast or something. But no, they were constantly in the chat, contributing, having fun, adding to the fun. A lot of other panelists were in other people's panels, adding to the conversation. A lot of people that weren't in panels, like you said, different people, like Phil mentioned, adding to the conversation. It wouldn't have been nearly as fun if it wasn't for everyone jumping in and conversing. And a lot, not to crap on any of the other tracks, but because this one was on Twitch, it was simultaneous. The conversation was happening with the panels.
Yes.
You didn't have to go to, we use Discord for planning. A lot of other people used it as their social. And for me, it just didn't work as well. You're in two different places. Yeah. It didn't click. Exactly. And that was one of the great. Things. Everyone made it brilliant. That's the last thing I have to say. So thank you to everybody that participated. It made it a fucking absolute blast.
I know we've talked a lot about like, oh, it wasn't in person, but this was really good. I think the chat made it better than an in-person panel, because when I'm in a panel at a con, I can't say shit to the people I'm with.
Oh, I do.
Here, like, well, I don't want to be a dickhead, and like
I don't care. I
got one fucking volume and it's 10. So like, when I whisper, it's Tony, did you hear that? Like I can't help it.
That's why we have our own personal Discord.
Thank you for leaning away from the mic for that.
But so like
really scared
for me, like being able to talk through the panel was part of like the con experience for me, right?
Yes.
Like I'm gonna leave the room and then I'm gonna say, oh shit, somebody said something that was fucking great. You know what I mean? But like Justin Robert Young, like today, I just quoted him in the chat because it was so good. Like the comment about pro sports teams are named after two things: animals and actions. I thought it was like the funniest fucking observation. Like just, and then like we were able to talk about it while it was happening, and so like it was so cool to have that happen at the same time, right? And so. Yeah. For 2021, when we're in person and we're streaming it on Twitch, I'm going to have my phone out during panels and I'm going to be chatting with the people that are watching the panels on stream that aren't in the room, because I'm still going to want to have a dialogue while it's going on.
Yeah.
Or we can just sit outside the panel room and watch the panel and talk shit.
From the hallway.
Yeah.
How cool are we?
But if you can get a good,
do your own separate stream.
Good luck if you can get a good enough signal down there.
Well, hopefully we'll be out of the basement. Hopefully we'll be in a much better place. But even then, it's Atlanta at DragonCon. It's 80,000 people trying to get good signal. So there's that. What I want next year is I want some way to randomize things in our Twitch chat, so we could just put a bang quote, because exclamation point is bang quote, and then I'll just pull a different quote from the weekend. I don't know if there's going to be an app between now and then. You get what you speak. And I'm saying I want a randomizer that people can just gamify it, right? Have a reason for, even if you're sitting in the room, to have a reason to be on Twitch
Yes.
to watch the chat. You know, I want more real life memes coming out, not just mocking me for the parade, but you know, it's bears aren't peace. You know, I want more of that. You know, coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I want to max out our rooms and still have 1,000+ people watching on Twitch. You know, because it's we can reach the world and we're changing things. I want to start panels on time in the real world. That's why I want to do that too.
Yes.
And there's gonna be a lot more hard ass, you know. I want for me because it proved. I've always been afraid to be a hard ass. I don't know why. Probably because I grew up in a church with my dad being the preacher, and they were saying, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, because this will happen."
Tune into Almost Daily Discord
we
to
talk
hear
about
about some of the shittiest Christmas presents he's ever gotten.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
gonna be
God.
some more of those.
Charles's sad growing up stories.
You know, it's but I'm learning.
Finding the tragedies is what the fucking name of our show should be. Jesus.
It's Tony's fault. He hit the topic, but you know, I definitely gonna be much more. I like it was this year. It's much more of a hard ass of be here in the room, and nobody pushed back. I love what Clinton was saying. Clinton was saying, you know, and every time he asked me a question, which is not nearly as many as he thought it was. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to keep bothering you." I'm like, "I haven't heard from you in like 2 weeks. What do you mean keep bothering me?" Yeah, ask the question, man. And he'd follow up, and guys, you know, that's what I wanted is because anybody who pushed back, and I wouldn't say there's anybody who pushed back. That there was a few who had their panels approved for this year that reached out to me and said, "I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to believe you. I'm going to take you for what you tell me. Thank you." And either the panels went away or got changed somehow, you know? And that's fine. Nothing against them. If you submit next year, I'll consider you next year because you got to take people where they are. If you don't know, Scott is my number one, although I will always think of him as number two. But he is my backup, and he's been every time I've needed something, he's been there. It's been amazing. Bobby has been amazing. The new faces that we saw publicly more this year. Tyra's been on panels, but for her to she kicked off this year with her own panel. You know, I don't know if she's had her. I think this was her first own panel this year. And she'll be a big moderator for me if that's what she wants to do. It was really good. Seeing Emily Swan do her first major panel this year, and she was on a couple and amazing. I mean, you wouldn't know until she started telling the stories that she didn't start streaming until like 2 months ago, and that it was great.
She's the best.
Both of her panels, I wanted a part two to like immediately after them.
Absolutely. Joe Ard is the Discord king for the most part. He gets those rooms built, and he's in there. He's built the bots. He wants to, and he might actually be able to build me some kind of randomizer app that we can put on Twitter or Twitch.
We talk about this Discord like this, that, and you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
We talk. Well, at least I'll speak for myself. I talk about it as if it automatically happened, and it didn't. You know, this shit has to be built out, and Joe built it out. Matter of fact. Constantly, I was like, "Hey Joe, please add so and so," and it was done, and they're in the room, and they got it. So I just want to second that.
Well, and apparently, Tactical Bacon says for the quote randomizer database, Nightbot already has that ability. It may just need a moderator or Twitch chat.
Easy enough to do. I just have to look at that. I mean, I was literally building out Nightbot as we went through the weekend and adding stuff. So cool. I
want to shout out Alex Kaufman also, who did.
I was going to say that.
Media promotion.
Yes.
Because that was a huge weight to not have to worry as much about that. Well,
so thanks for stealing my thunder, Dick. I appreciate it. So
Alex, like Charles was only halfway through before Tony had to interrupt him and talk more.
So Alex Kaufman absolutely is a volunteer. I brought him on this year, and I think it was about 2 years ago. I went to the DragonCon brass and said, I need to get up there and ask for volunteers. And like, oh yeah, don't do that. Because you need to build out your team. You know, this is something bigger than none that I'm better than any other track, but what we do here specifically is a specific need versus, okay, I need 3 people to hold a door and manage lines. You know, and so I said, okay, I'll take that advice and went out. And I actually reached out to Tyra and said, you teach social media people and people who do promotion. Do you know anybody who'd want to do this for essentially free? Because as we know, this year it is free. Next year you'll get a badge and you'll get some other little perks of being at DragonCon. And she goes, I know the perfect person. He loves DragonCon and he's great at social media. And that was Alex Kaufman. And he has been amazing. He has killed it. He has stayed constantly in touch with me. Like everybody else. I'm sorry not doing more. I'm like, you know what my tweets were last year? Every like 6 hours I take a picture from the thing. Like, here's what we're doing. Done. To the point that about halfway through day one, I finally connected DragonCon Twitter or DMT Twitter to the DMT Twitch and didn't hit the goddamn button until botched, which was the last panel of this freaking year. Because I didn't realize there's a little stupid button that would you have to. Why would I connect you if I don't want you to tweet out? Oh my god! So yes, Alex. Alex has been amazing. He's made a lot of the graphics.
Alex, welcome to the team.
Yeah. So
I'm not allowed to praise people anymore, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
You said the last thing you wanted to say, Tony. So
yeah, you're done.
And Joe is officially a team member as well. And then we'll see next year. We're building things out, and I mean every year things change. And you know, if you're wanting to look to volunteer with what we do, reach out through Discord and be active. That's it. Be active in Discord because things are changing and moving, and we'll have some spots for next year for sure. So that's the official team. So this year's team was officially, well, with Alex, 4 people, counting myself, and then Bobby really stepped up. But then through the weekend, Puppy Dog Mike, love you, man. Just hey, I mean, it's just great. He's just firing up that chat, and in the background, I cannot even tell you how many times in the background he said something about this idea or that idea, or even, hey, turn up the sound, dog. It's a little low, and it's been great. And Mike, your energy has been great, man, and we really appreciate it. You're a great addition to Almost Daily Discourse at anchor.fm/almostdailypod. Check us out, twitch.tv/almostdailypod. And it has been really, really good. Tony, you're not a volunteer, man, but you always, and he's told some of the stories, and I'll leave it at what he told. But yeah, man, I will come to Tony without even flinching. I won't say please or thank you or sorry. I'm like, hey man, this is yours. Thanks. Okay, so I do thank you. But and Tony's like, what is it? Okay. And then he knocks it out of the damn park. And honestly, I would put Tony. Here's the 3 mods I would always do. No offense to Anthony because you ain't on the list. I would rotate Stephanie, Tony, Jenna, Tyra,
Tony again,
and then Tony, and then me, and then Stephanie. I do. I gotta get out in front of people. That's why we do this. But then through it all, people putting stuff in chat. I watched all because I have nothing better to do for 12 hours than to watch the chat. And I'm watching the chat, and there's been a lot of great people who've come out every hour and done stuff, but nobody more. Turn her camera off because she's gonna cry. Steph came out and she fucking nailed everything in the chat, just cheering people on, adding things. Oh my God, I love yous. Doing the stuff on the panels, all that jazz. Mike should put a fucking ring on it,
I'm
because
trying.
it's amazing. No, I mean the real ring.
She got real. It's 1 o'clock. It's getting real.
So,
Thanks a lot, COVID.
But no, thank you all. And it's going to be a good year coming up. I love all these ideas. I definitely love the Shark Tank Makes the Voice. I love the actual mentorship, which is the contest part, but I love the actual mentorship program, which is something I wanted to do for a while. I love all the new faces I've seen this year do things. And go ahead.
I love those panels ideas because it gives you like a 2-year story arc. You get the first year where they pitch everything, and then the next year when they come back and they've had the mentor sessions and they get their own panels.
And of course, Anthony's thinking in-universe stories. And
Pokey Dexpert's not coming back, Anthony. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. So,
it's like immediately after Blood Feud ended, Anthony hit me and Steph up and was like, "This is perfect. The redemption arc that we're gonna have in Blood Feud 3 is so powerful."
In Blood Feud 3, I want to see about halfway through Polyhedron comes in for the win. It just takes it away from both of you. Anyway,
a new challenger approaches.
This is going to become the next WWE.
And the Macaroni brothers threw a chair.
I'm not going to do it tonight. I was going to do it tonight. It's late, but I already have it planned for tomorrow. The traditional wrap-up of the track is Mark Gunn. He wasn't going to do it live anyway. It's too late. But Mark Gunn doing the pub songs, Irish and Celtic music, where it's all geeky, awesome stuff. And he's already given me the video for it, and it's already been preloaded on YouTube and Facebook. So at 1 p.m., roughly 1 p.m., because YouTube's premieres give me odd numbers, and Facebook let me put it on the time. So just watch for the post. You can hit follow, and it'll let you know. But at 1 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern, there will be 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm tired, man. It's been a long weekend. Go to YouTube. Follow the digital the digital media track on YouTube. But they'll be going live. They'll be premiered, so you can actually follow it. You can chat with people live. Also, and then they'll stay. They'll live there. They'll live there. So you can get your traditional wrap up tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, Finding the Stories launches, and I'm very excited about it. Bill of Run, Jump, Stomp, who did a number of panels this year, he's going to be the first guest, and I'm very, very proud of that project. I'm very nervous about that project because it's very near and dear to me, so maybe you can win that too. After the second year of getting your mentorship, then you can come on Finding the Stories in the third year and tell how you get there. All right. But thank you all for coming out and watching all this. Thank you for this year. It has been as good as it can be. Let's get back. Let's stick with it this year and keep doing some awesome stuff.
Thank you guys for everything. Seriously.
Smash.